So it seems as though there is a few difficulty in heaven for Larsa Pippen and her man, Marcus Jordan, on the grounds that Marcus' dad, Michael Jordan, just put their whole relationship on impact. Hello, Mr. Jordan. What is your take on Marcus and bunches of individuals? Together you endorse it, you don't support it, do you believe? He will request that she let him. Michael has made it more than clear that he accepts that Larsa could have prepared his child, and he is presently putting her on impact for being unseemly. Michael is additionally spilling a few tea about the relationship. And it seems as though things are creepier than we knew. Did Larsa truly meet Marcus when he was just 6 years of age? So incidentally, Larsa Pippen was presenting some striking face untruths, which he guaranteed that everybody in her circle was fine with her dating Marcus, cause it would seem, in addition to the fact that they disapprove of her dating Marcus, many individuals haven't arrived for the relationship well. In the event that you're asking why individuals haven't arrived for this relationship, this is on the grounds that individuals found it tremendously unpleasant leading. There's the issue of the monstrous age hole between them. For the people who don't realize, Larsa is 16 years more established than Marcus is. And that is directed to a ton of conversations online about whether the age hole is suitable. Now fans are generally parted about this show on the grounds that while some vibe like the age hole is unusual and sort of dreadful, others feel like both Marcus and Larsa are grown-ups, and they ought to have the option to do anything they desire. Marcus is definitely not a minor, and a few fans accept that no one ought to attempt to police his dating life. Yet the main explanation that the relationship is getting a ton of kickback was the way that individuals accept that they had known one another since Marcus was in a real sense a kid and Larsa was a completely developed lady. In the event that you haven't yet made the associations between these two, very much let me separate it for you. Marcus is the second child of NBA legend Michael Jordan, and his most memorable spouse, Joanita Jordan, and Larsa is Scottie Pippen's ex. Now, for those of you all who actually haven't made the rainbow association, Scottie and Michael played together in the NBA group, the Chicago Bulls. Harking back to the 90s, at the time Scottie and Larsa were at that point wedded and Marcus was at that point conceived. And in the event that you have a ton of insight into the NBA, you realize that b-ball families frequently drape out together beyond games. It's extremely normal for NBA families to essentially have a genial relationship outside the court. And since Scottie and Micah were in the same boat, it's implied that their families would have associated at some point. Definitely, I realized that Scottie and Michael had some insane hamburger in competition, despite the fact that they were in the same boat. Yet it actually doesn't change the way that they were colleagues, and their families would have known one another regardless of whether they weren't best buds. So this means Larissa has known Marcus since he was 6 or 7 years of age, and she was a developed lady in her 20s. Despite the fact that he is, as of now, not a kid, individuals actually find this very unpleasant, that she would try and be remotely drawn to somebody that she's known since they were a kid. Yet listen, I'm not passing judgment on, I'm simply attempting to let you all understand what individuals are talking about and why many individuals probably won't be hanging around for this relationship. Now Larsa emerged and reject that she knew Marcus when he was a kid, guaranteeing that she never ran into him as a kid. She left a remark under a post by the Shade Room, saying, "I just met him quite a while back. I never knew him or his family. I was 21 years of age and in school when Scottie played that 1 year with MJ. And we weren't companions with them like everybody thinks, except the roads were not getting it." Individuals actually didn't completely accept that her, and she had to address the charges again in a meeting with Tamron Corridor, where she asserted that they met quite a while back at a party. Well, I feel like we in a real sense just met at a party quite a while back. Gracious, truly, we were companions since we as a whole resided in Chicago. No doubt. When did you meet him? 4 years, 4 years away. Party at like a Lille party. Did you had any idea who he was at the time? Well, better believe it. We have a ton of shared companions. Again, individuals truly didn't become involved with this and felt like she was attempting to safeguard herself from getting hauled and harassed via virtual entertainment. In light of the fact that really the backfire has been insane, however, at that point, as individuals brought up the explanation she's getting backfire is on the grounds that she's attempting to be really slippery about it all along, as though she realized that she was accomplishing something wrong. Individuals guided out how she didn't actually need toward recognize the relationship at initial. An insider spilled the tea about the connection, saying Marissa and Marcus Jordan are nonchalantly hanging out. The two have a ton of similar companions in like manner, so they have been around each other a ton and appreciate hanging out. They are having a great time together. They additionally added Larsa's separation from Scotty was settled toward the start of this current year, and she's partaking in that opportunity. Yet perhaps Larsa wasn't all set public with the relationship, or something to that effect. Yet when she was gotten some information about the reports, she absolutely denied them, asserting that she was only companions with Marcus. Individuals say, "You're dating. I have a ton of companions. I've been exceptionally friendly. I was hitched for a considerable length of time. Like, this is an ideal time for me to truly sharpen and out my connections. So that is somewhat the thing I'm doing." Tragically, this ended up being one more untruth that she was trapped in half a month after she denied dating Marcus. Paparazzi pictures of them kissing immediately circulated around the web, and individuals hammered Larsa for lying. Now, the intriguing part about this is that Larsa conceded that she and Marcus initially began hanging out when she put away his name under a phony nom de plume. She said, "I would never truly place you under your name in my telephone, so I had you under Mark Jacob. I didn't believe anybody should know when you called me," despite the fact that it seemed like she was attempting to keep her life hidden. Certain individuals took this to mean that she was concealing the relationships since she realized that something wasn't quite right about it, and didn't maintain that individuals in her internal circle should call her out for it. Well, it's been right around a year now, and they are as yet serious areas of strength for Going Insider, as of late affirmed their sentiment in Individuals magazine, saying they are dating and cheerful. They're having some good times. She's making an honest effort to keep it calm and not overplay it. They see each other basically a couple of times each week. Now, one inquiry that has been on everyone's psyches is how in the world the two families have been dealing with the relationship. Like I said before, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen had some insane hamburger, yet they actually haven't moved past after such a long time. So how in the world would Michael take it, realizing that his child was dating his foe's ex? Well, as per Larsa, everyone in the family took it well, and they were all fine with the relationship. Have you met Michael Jordan and Jonathan Jordan? And what did they say regarding the relationship? You realize, I don't actually. Obviously, I as of late have not. You realize, I've as of late been spending time with them. Yet I would truly prefer not to discuss them. I feel like it's actually not necessary to focus on, my folks or his folks. They're all blissful. Our entire family's fine. So she fundamentally said that Michael was totally fine with the relationship, and keeping in mind that she didn't precisely illuminate it, she additionally implied that Scotty didn't precisely dislike the relationship. Yet it just so happens what she wasn't speaking the truth about was the Michael Jordan part, since he has of late uncovered that he doesn't support the relationship. He was in Paris several days prior, and when the paparazzi inquired as to whether he supported Marcus and Lawrence's relationship, this is what he needed to say. "Hello, Mr. Jordan. What is your take on Marcus and Lars? Are Pippen together? You support it. You've done it. Prove to you believe. He will request that she wed him." So it appears as though someone named Larsa was doing a strong face lie about how Michael truly had an outlook on the relationship. And many individuals aren't amazed to discover that he isn't on the side of their relationship. Yet it seems to be his sentiments run significantly more profound than that, on the grounds that an insider uncover that Michael has been creeped out by the relationship All along purportedly, he finds it exceptionally savage that Larsa would try and be remotely drawn to his child in a cozy way. And he didn't keep down on his viewpoints, since he made it extremely obvious to her, and Marcus anyway, he realizes that he needs to acknowledge that Marcus is mature enough to pursue his own choices. So despite the fact that he's not tolerating of Larsa, he has no other decision except for to take no notice except for it. Seems as though Marcus hasn't arrived for his father offering his input about the relationship, since he quickly set up for a meeting with Eat, where he attempted to guarantee that everybody misjudged his father's remarks. He said, "I hate my family. Simply needs to see me cheerful thus. For however long I'm blissful, they're content with where I'm residing." Everyone had an assessment at first. I think there was some stunning interest almost immediately, yet I imagine that was the general purpose of us attempting to get to know each other. Someone remarked, stand by Larsa Pippen, wedded Scottie Pippen in 1997. When Marcus Jordan was 6 to 7 years of age, and Scottie and Michael were playing for the Bulls, it's giving gossip. Someone else said we didn't require anybody to let us know Larsa was lying. She resides on her own planet. We, as a whole, watched The Last Dance. No chance he was ready. And this other individual tweeted, you all recollect that interview Larsa Pippen did with Tamara Lobby Tomball. She was great with Marcus's folks, and that everybody appeared to be ready. Well, possibly she was lying, or things took a turn since Michael Jordan said he ain't F with that lady. Definitely it doesn't seem like Michael and Larsa will be best buds at any point in the near future. Yet I need to know what you all think about this show. Do you think Larsa was truly lying about being acknowledged?